They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to settle this whole freaking dispute on the Pacific Ocean with Jay Cohen and the so-called scientific community, with Ken Buesler, with the so-called marine biologists. And I want to talk about the only people that have studied the ocean. You know, Dana's documented the death of the ocean. He's documented it. That's what he's done. He's documented it. Studied? Well, documentation is part of freaking PhD study. I've documented it up and down, heavily documented since day one. Look, my source, Tim, who's been on this from the very beginning. He's a multi-generational fisherman in Oregon. He's a salesman. He's up and down. He talks to every crabbery, every fishery, every single boat, so all of it. He's up and down, heavily documented. John Kirk from day one in Vancouver, the incredible businessman who owns the paddleboard business on the water, who's heavily... I'm the first guy that started reporting the algae plume, as he reported to me, so you could see it coming across 4 years ago, right at Fukushima. And it's not algae, it's Fukushima. I call it Fuktonium. You can laugh at that. So I'm going to settle this right here now. So first the argument was, oh, you guys are crazy, the Pacific Ocean's not dead. That was their angle, right? Dana and I are saying, I've been saying it from day one. I called it Pacific genocide. It's going to kill the Pacific Ocean. It's going to kill it. It's going to kill it. You know, it's going to be the Pacific genocide. I started saying that in day one, right off the get, over and over and over. So their argument, oh, the Pacific Ocean's not dead. They thought they were going to play that out and say, oh, they'll be able to come back to these guys and say, oh, look at these guys said the video, and look how healthy the Pacific Ocean is. They thought they had a slam dunk layup, but I knew this was nuclear fission. I knew it was going to freaking destroy the Pacific Ocean because I have that big of a background in this. I knew they started pushing into the Pacific Ocean, as I reported on April 3rd, 2011, to a fine science because of my sources. My intuitive brain, Cassandra. You don't believe in the intuitive mind, then you don't know anything about nuclearism. You don't know anything about Einstein. He had a dream, that freaking light man. Remember Campbell said he was wrong? Oh no, he's right. You know, the Crimeria full circle, 1914 in your head, as they took Campbell's telescope in Crimeria, the beginning of World War I, as we got World War III. Oh boy, the Lusitania on Balco. But so I'm going to settle this here right now. Okay, that was our argument. You guys are pushing it. And we rely on scientific data. When Ken Buesler's name's already on the KLK study. I presented it. It got leaked to me. I read it online. That's at the sampling site. Read it. At the sampling site. Look at all the multiple people on this, including Ken. At the sampling site, 3 times. 1 sample. Second, 50. And I misspoke in the last video. Next one, 1,000 times. Are you kidding? What, did it just go away? No. The half-life is hundreds of thousands of years. Now they're picking it up in the fruit in Florida. They're picking, I mean, think about this. You know, as I said, stay at tuna, the tracer tuna fish. Look, it's not about them. It doesn't just slosh across. You know, when Ken goes out and gets his samples here. No, you have the Japanese current, goes into the California, swiftest rivers on the face of the earth. The bridge after Fukushima, from Fukushima, Japan, the earthquake and the tsunami swamped it out, landed on the beaches of Eugene in what, 6-7 days? We know that it was being reported in Sacramento by Cal Berkeley and other things that the season was making it in the jet stream within hours of Fukushima. Fugo me not. We know how it was Japanese philosophers 2,000 years, again, the intuitive mind. That, hey, there's a jet stream up there, this secret, you know, fast airstream. You know, they didn't know that until World War II. You know, they were sending the Fugo bombs here. You don't think they keep secrets? Nobody knew. My dad found a Fugo bomb right out here. You know, they killed Archie Mitchell, one of them, in his Sunday school class in Ophelia, in Oregon. People don't even know about it. They keep secrets. Because I named it post-ignorance. I named it right. Ignorance is the enemy. So, Tim, so they've been arguing with, so people need to understand this. In Alaska, Oregon, whatever, the comeback of the salmon run has been priority #1 for 20 years. It's been a major program in the United States. Major program, and Canada. They put all the resources into bringing it back through the hatcheries, through the eggs, all the way through. The peak was supposed to be 2015 this year. So, you know, in California, Oregon, they rely heavily on tourism economy. Come get your fish boats, you know, the sea lions on the cover of Roystone up there freaking starving to death. So their answer is to cull the herd. They're calling the comrades right now, saying, oh, they're eating the salmon. They're calling the sea lions because they come up on the pier. Oh, they took my Big Mac out of my freaking thing. They're starving because there's no sardines. They collapsed. They closed the sardine fishery in the whole Pacific Ocean. They closed the anchovies. They closed all the crabbing. They've closed it all. Wells washing up dead. I mean, it's so they're arguing, the ocean's so So now they can't argue that. So, oh, it says, so now step 2 against me. I'm the guy that first reported this in dramatic way. I'm the first guy that said this. I'm the first guy that said this was a nuclear meltdown. Arnie Gunderson cuts to me and says, no, it's not, Kevin. Arnie, I have the emails to prove it. Busby says, no, it's not. I'm the guy that said it's going to give people leukemia, and I got leukemia, went into the bone marrow. I mean, I'm the guy that said all this perfectly, the first one on Earth to report this in the Pacific. So now they're saying, oh, no, you're right, it's dying. But it's not Fukushima, it's the algae plume. Well, what's causing the heat? The algae plume's coming because of the heating up of the ocean. Number one, yeah, it's like ozone getting depleted. Hello, the nuclear boil, 410 reactors boiling the Earth's water over and over and over. It goes into the oceans, 20 degrees hotter than it goes in. They're pushing it, nuclear fission. You know what kind of incredible heat? This is, I mean, they sent supposedly the strongest heat resistance robots in the history of mankind in. It melted them with minutes. It's the greatest heat source. Look, Livermore says it like this. As I protested at Livermore on day 1000, I've been all over. Bringing star-powered Earth. Sure is how hot the sun is? Give you cancer from 93 million miles away. It's a hot sun. Don't you think it's ironic? The red sun. You know, people can deny my work all they want, but I've been exactly on it, to a T. So, the salmon run comes in, and I've been reporting it. The Brookings Fish Derby, catch 30-something fish, 300 boats on the water for 3-4 days, 7 of the legal limit. You know, the fisheries, my sources have been calling me out of Alaska the whole time. Kevin, they're blocking cameras going in, they're blocking everything. The fish are sick. They're coming in. This has been going on for 3-4 years. They got sores on them, no scales on them. There's no fish. I mean, the fisheries, they're skinny, they're scrawny. The crab cannery in Oregon says, oh, the crabs are all scrawny and sucked up. They're all starving to death. Hello. So now their next argument. So Jay Collins says it. Well, they don't know what I know. Jay Collins has never done any field work. He admits that. He says that. He has the right to his, ignorance, and that's what he is. So Ken comes back and says, look, nobody studied. So he quoted Ken in Wood Holes, and Ken says it. Ken says it over and over. There's nobody studying the ocean. Ken said it 1,000 times. So what's Jay saying when he says, I can see the only scientific study that's there is I have it, and it got leaked to me, and there it is. 1,000 times the background. It's not just sloshing across. Remember, oh, it's going to hit here by 2014. It's not a bathtub. It's in heavy, heavy pockets. It's killing the Pacific Ocean. It's heating up the Pacific Ocean. You can argue. So here comes the numbers in. Oh, record runs. Record? Does that look like record to you? So this is a guy right in Vancouver, right there where Jay's in his glass house. Don't throw ghost stones at my glass house, he's saying. Huh. When he cast the first stone, for he who cast the first stone. Look, I don't know, I don't even know Dana. Don't even know Dana. Never really even talked to Dana in my life. Not through emails, not through anything. So I don't even know Dana. His gig between Jay, that's between him and Jay. I know nothing about that whole thing. But I know I've been hypothesizing and doing the work and hardcore data from day one. And the PR firms and everybody's gone after me like a freaking wolf. With leukemia. I got leukemia 7 months after I said it's going to give you leukemia. I got leukemia. Talk about the most epic story in your face, the greatest story ever told. Oh boy, and it'll go down in history. I will go down in history, and it will be told that Kevin Blanch told the greatest story in real time in history. This is the greatest event in human history. Nuclear fission. Major melt, as I said day one, pushing the Pacific Ocean the whole time. 1 + 1 is not 3. Star power. The heat sources coming off this freaking thing is heated up the Pacific Ocean. It's caused the Great Western Drought, which I said that. I said that on day one. It's going to freaking put a heat source in the Pacific Ocean, and it's going to put a heat bubble over this Western United States. Fukushima happens. Heat bubble over the Western United States. Ocean gets hot, dies. 1 + 1 is 3. 1 + 1 is 3. No, 1 + 1 is 2. And it's amazing. The emperor has no fucking clothes. I stood right there too in Copenhagen. You think about the body of work that I've done. It's beyond incredible. It's like 15 PhDs. I've never been focused intense, and somebody said to me the other day, let the leukemia be the healer. Don't fight it. Let the leukemia. He's right. It's such a beautiful line. Let this be the healer. Sweet are the uses of adversity. That's Shakespeare, boys. At Hamlet. Oh, cursed spite that I was ever born to set this right. My polygamous family right there. The 2 little houses right there. I live right there. My 2 grandmothers, great-grandma, one lived in there and one lived in there. My real last name, Mikkelsen, from Denmark. I found out I got to go to Denmark too and find out how did these women have these little children when they got here. What happened to the dads? Then I found out, oh, the Russian. I met my own family. The Russians got them again. The Prussian Empire, for the 15th time, they killed their dad. I mean, Denmark's been pillaged so many times. But this is the big one. We've crossed the point of no return. Here you go. This is right in Vancouver. Look at these salmon numbers. You tell me. I have people say, oh, the salmon was great. Okay, you might have caught a pocket here or there. But the bottom line is the ocean, as I call the Pacific genocide. I've never said the Pacific Ocean was going to ever annihilate. That's why I named it the Pacific genocide. It's the greatest term I came up. Science fiction economics, Marie Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake. I've got thousands on Balco. Thousands, if not hundreds of them. The great intuitive mind. You know, I don't eat, sleep, drink this. I literally sleep with it. My father nuked to death in Valdes. I've been on this since day one. You want to compare credentials? Jay Collin, you want to compare credentials? And by the way, Ken Buesler says it right. Nobody's studying the ocean. So how is he regurgitating? I've seen scientific, well, the only data confirms everything that I say. And it took a leak to come out to me and me reading it. Then it showed up in Air and Water Monitoring website at Cal Berkeley. Read it. There's their own words. There's your own words, Jay. You know, I'll debate Jay any place, anytime. And your, gang stalking of rats and trolls, go ahead. If you're no match for my freaking army, and my army is the angels. The angels that died of leukemia. Fukushima's killed so many people. It's killed freaking literally hundreds of millions of beings already. Mammals. It means killing all the whales. I mean, the sea lions. Right here at Hogle Zoo. With a famous sea lion. Just quit eating freaking 2 summers ago, 1 summer. Oh, just stopped, wouldn't eat. Like I said, they went and read the blood. AML leukemia. They're mammals, so are we. Kills you just like that. It almost killed me. I got a miracle in the bone marrow transplant for 1,280 days. Fighting for my life through AML leukemia. Right in your face. What a compelling story. What an epic story. I thought, well, people come to me, whatever. And I had a lot of media in the hospital. I had media requests everywhere, stacked that deep. But like my doctor says, he says, they all backed out. The Danish philosophy doctor of mine that saved my life. Both of them. My doctor that saved my lives, brother and father both died downwinders in Utah. Mike Lee told me to write to my face online again. Kevin, my dad was a downwinder. Well, you don't think you are, Mike? It's the arrogance of this generation. Half-life is 24,500 years. That's when it's not moxie. And we know it's all moxie in their nuclear experimental island called Japan. Build nuclear reactors all fall. We knew this was going to happen. I predicted it over and over. I did thousands of lectures. We knew it. And it happened. Bringing star power. And we know the consequences. I'm educated enough in to know the consequences. You want to compare PhDs? Let's talk. Let's sit down and have a nice conversation. Like I said, I'll buy beers. Let's have a nice, good moderator. You can even have one of your... Oh, hi. This is PBS. Jay just wanted to tell the good news of Fukushima. And Jay didn't say that, she said that. Jay has the right to say what he wants, but wow, talk about leading the flocks to the slaughters, which Jan did that beautiful video is tobacco. Tobacco is not freaking, these are the executives, and there's no consequence for these corporate liars, and this, and look at the tobacco industry, what they lied to us. Look at the nuclears, how they've lied to us. The human lab rat of my dad, no metal, no nothing. Oh, curse the spite that I was ever born to set this right, but I was. My Danish bloodline's a Helsinger. I was at Helsinger at the castle. Wow. Wow, Shakespearean, the point of no return, how long? We crossed it. So here it is. The data's there. So now, oh, Kevin Blanch is crazy. It's freaking, he says it's going to freaking wipe out the Pacific. I've never seen the ocean so healthy. Now it's dying. Just like I argued on the dead pines. Where'd you sleep last night, Kev? I slept in the dead fucking pines where the red sun from Fukushima, Japan always shines. And so did you. My pines died. My dog died of leukemia. The sea lion died. So the byproduct of AML leukemia is you look like you're starving to death. Because it does starve you to death, and so how many of these animals have died from leukemia and how many are... Nobody's testing them. They'll say, oh, mystery disease. Mystery disease. Scientists are baffled. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Scientists are baffled. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Mystery disease. We'll get back to you. They never get back. Mystery because none of them know how. Jay says it perfectly. There's no one studying. Oh, I'm studying. Dana documenting and studying. I'm studying and documenting half from day one. Oh, we've documented on the ocean. I've been on I've walked the whole thing, documenting all of it. We have the data. Here it is. The greatest PhD ever done. PhDs are rewarded for new thinking and actually doing it in the field. Not just because peer review on you're in the club. you know, glass houses, you know, so it's pretty amazing that Jay can go on there and say that. You know, and more power to him, I guess, if that's the side of history he wants to record himself on. So now they want, how are they going to argue now? So they argued with me in California for the last 3 years. All the pines are dying. Oh no, it's beetles, it's this. And I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. So they finally admit it this year when I'm down there. You're right, Kevin. They finally admit it. But it's radiation, right, that's killing, like you hypothesized when you said. But it's solar radiation. What do you think Fukushima is? Livermore says it right there. Go there. Go there. That's what they say. Bringing star power to Earth. They brought star power to Earth. And it's killing the Pacific Ocean. The sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles away. It's a delicate balance on this freaking Earth. And they messed too much with it, and now it's on. And they thought they could cover it up. Livermore was told to stand down inside the Situation Room, and I know that for a fact. Or the military was told to stand down. You know, the USS Reagan, human lab rat, 8 ships sent in there, stand down. John Holdren was handed the keys to the 32 team. I was in the museum when he touched Lander's Peak. When the guy reached out and touched Lander's Peak. Right there, you can't make it up. Part of the 32 team from the University of Michigan. I know the kid that dropped the pun. I love it. I know it. All roads lead to Missouri. Westlake fire going. You know, so Michigan, their nuclear grats are part of the team. Of course, MIT and Cal Berkeley. John Holdren leads it. And they thought, they told Obama, Barry Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake. He said it. The greatest lie ever told in human history. The greatest lie ever told in human history was by Barack Obama. He walked out, President Obama, Barry Dunham, walked out and said, when Fukushima happened on the Rose Garden lawn, after him and Secretary Chu were flown out of the country, his family already out of the country, as the plume went over, he said, the American public has the right to know, and we're going to be transparent, we're going to make sure they know. The greatest lie ever told. He's never said a word about Fukushima since. The greatest lie ever told. And then Gina McCarthy crashed RedNet. So he rewards her at MIT and makes her head of the EPA. Then you got Ernest Moxie Fuel. He becomes, the solar guy's out. Nuclear's in. He's got a price to pay back to Axelrod for putting him in the White House. Puts him in. The whole thing's a shakedown, the greatest shakedown, the greatest cash cow, Price Anderson. You just feeding your own death. It's all about the freaking money. The IAE, I was there too. On the 200th anniversary of Waterloo. I was there. This is unbelievable, this story. The greatest lie ever told. I thought it'd be the great equalizer because it kills them too. Jamie Dimon's got lymphoma. You know, Blank Fine's got lymphoma. Steve Chinese Jobs died of cancer. I mean, it's amazing. The great equalizer. Fukushima. The greatest lie ever told. He told it. He's never said a word since. You know, wow. Oh boy. Oh boy, the chickens come home to roost. Livermore. The greatest event in human history, and I told it in perfect, incredible, detailed way. And you can go at me all you want. You know, so greatest salmon run in history. Does that look like the greatest salmon run? Right in Vancouver. Yeah, because my army does the work. They physically do the work. We're physically studying. We're physically recording. Have been from day one. But nobody will touch me with a 10-foot pole, because the truth. I go back to Semmelweis when he was saying, wash your hands and little germs are killing you in Vienna. Not only he proved it over 40 years study, he ran and raved and went crazy. As I stood right there where Hitler declared freaking Austria his, where he went crazy with his rants, threw him in a rubber room and killed him 14 days later. 40 years he was right. Moby Dick. Herman Melville died unknown. That one line talking about them suckling on the mamas, their little babies. Teddy read it and it shook him. Become the greatest novel ever written. People hated it for 50 years. Didn't even know. He died as an unknown. We stood right there and did videos. He died as an unknown night watchman on Wall Street. Wow. The greatest lie ever told. Barack Obama told it. The greatest event that ever told. The truth. The greatest truth that was ever told, maybe in human history. I told it, Kevin Blanch. The greatest lie that ever told. Barack Obama, Barry Antoinette. He told it. The American public has a right to know. We're going to be transparent. He never said another word. And I said, the American public has a right to know, and I'll be damned if they don't. And I'm going to fight my ass off with everything I know and every skill with this YouTube channel to make sure they do know. The greatest truth ever told, I told. The greatest lie, he told. It's that simple. Can't handle the truth? You don't want the fucking truth? Well, I got here. This is the one thing will never be covered up. Fukushima cannot be covered up. Denial, the Pacific genocide. Kevin Blanch, stay on tuned.